This class is presented to you by Dr. Adam Cohen, teacher at the Turiya Ashram in India.
When working to develop our relationship with God, we must begin first with our own self. The most elemental level of our being is the spirit. The spirit is rooted in the source, which is God, the divine. Whether you choose to call it the divine or God doesn't matter. You can also call it the ineffable, the omnipotent, the eternal. Regardless of what name you give it, the divine is something that is preeminent and pervades all of the universe, both on a particle level as well as a universal level. Starting with the microcosm, the inner self, is the best place to begin our relationship with God, or the divine, because it is from here that our integrity to our understanding of the divine begins. If we look out into the universe, what we see are independent objects. But this division is not in fact a reality, because behind the division is interdependence, interconnection. We come into awareness of that harmony, that synthesis of reality, when our mind opens to the divine nature. We start with our being by first coming to understand that we are neither the physical body nor the mental thoughts. These two things are just outer coatings to our spiritual being. They cloud and elude us from our true nature. Just as we wouldn't call the body the clothing that we wear, we also should not call the mind and the physical body our true self. Our true self is something eternal. The way that we come into acknowledgement of the true self is by looking beyond the physical body, looking beyond the thoughts, and peering deeper into the primordial nature of our being. It is here that truth begins to unfold. Our mind should rest within the eternal, and it comes to that by seeing ourselves not as a physical body, a human being even, but instead a soul that moves through the arches of time, transposing from one state of being to another, but always connected to the eternal source. We must not see ourselves as single being, one physical form that is born and perishes, but instead an eternal essence that is rooted in the cosmic makeup that created the universe. We go beyond space and time, towards the infinite moment, the present being that exists always and forever. Whether there is a world or there isn't, our being always exists. We are here eternally. Those trials that we face in life are just clouds moving across the skies of our being. They don't permanently reside there. They just arise and fade, just as one might watch the waves on an ocean begin to expand with the storm and fall with the passing of time towards the stillness of the day. Mind connection towards our root nature is the most powerful source of our spirituality, because it is from here that we realize who we are and what we can actually do in our lifetime. The divine, or God, has the intention of making every being connected to the eternal. Each step we take in life and each situation we face is a movement towards the divine. Truth comes when we work nearer to the fundamentals of our essence. The further we are away from our true being, the more dissipated our reality and the more painful our life becomes. The closer we move towards our divine essence, the more beautiful and prolific our life becomes. The choice is always ours, but where to begin is now, here in this moment, making a decision firmly within meditation, within the thoughts of our being, about who we are and how we'd like to pursue our lives. If we continue down the road that is paved with the beliefs that we are the mind and the body, we will undoubtedly suffer from the challenges and problems that life presents. But if we peer into our spiritual nature, the unfoldment of time becomes a divine play, in which we see that all events have a higher purpose, but are neither insignificant nor eternally damning. Everything that we have that occurs within our life is there, passes, moves on. The only thing that does not fade is our divine essence. Coming into connection with God, then, is realizing the true divine nature of ourselves. This is the intention of our relationship with the divine. Not to see the divine as something separate from us, but instead us, in our very own nature. This is the truth of the divine, and this is the relationship that God, or the divine, is seeking. Not one of necessarily division through worship, or guilt through feeling inferior or less, but instead rising up to the state of equal in which we are divine. Your mind must expand. Your mind must look inwards. When you come into meditation, look there to the core of your being. Remove the barriers, the boundaries that divide you from everything else, and begin to explore the true fundamental groundedness of yourself in the eternal moment. When you come into this state of being, the understanding of our relationship between the divine becomes undeniably apparent, and we can see without doubt the purpose behind our existence, of our subsistence in life. Not to merely struggle, but instead to be creative, dynamic sparks that interact with the world, but are neither attached to it nor determined by it. Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti.
Namaste. You can find more free resources on yoga, including videos, audios, and articles on our website, studyofyoga.org. We believe that spiritual knowledge can change the world and bring forth a new path for humanity to become integrally connected to themselves and the world in which they live. Therefore, all materials we provide are available for free. However, if you would like to make a donation to help us expand our collection of resources as well as support our community projects in India, please contact us at info@studyofyoga.org. That's info@studyofyoga.org. Your contributions are nourishment for the lives of others who share a vision for a more peaceful and holistically unified future. Thank you for listening. May you be a light unto the world, so that the glory of truth and wisdom may shine in the hearts of all.